you showed so much heart and so much courage in that fight that even in this loss, I think is a victory.
To think, I wanted to be walking away with that belt, Joe, and I know how tough I am anyway. I don't need to prove it to anyone. I wanted to leave with that belt, but there's no other man I'd rather lose to than the highlight. You know what I mean? Justin Gaethje is someone I've loved watching.
Scousers do not get knocked. That Scouser does not get knocked out.
No, no.
My God.
Now that the battle is over and the answers are in, the real rewind may begin. Experts spoke with certainty prior to Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett sharing the cage, divided between upset potential and inevitability. Now that the outcome is known, it's time to review those forecasts to determine who correctly and incorrectly predicted how this fight would play out. The fight had been framed by Tim Welch as a race against time. He thought Pimblett was dangerous because of his ability to wear opponents down until a submission appeared, scrambles and pressure from awkward positions. However, he cautioned that since Gaethje's game was intended to punish impatience with leg kicks and sudden power, every wild exchange carried risk. Welch believed that the momentum would start to shift in Paddy's favor if he survived the initial danger and forced the fight into messy, drawn-out exchanges.
Pimblett, the baddie. 23 wins, 3 losses, 7 KOs, 10 submissions. The kid is good on the ground. He's going to attack you from his back. If you fuck up, you end up underneath him. He's going to damage you until you give up your back. He's going to take your back, and he's a very good finisher there. You saw him do it to Michael Chandler. He's taken on the highlight, Justin Gaethje. 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 KOs. The dude fucking KOs people. Early on, he'd calf kick the fuck out of people. He'd calf kick people where they couldn't take it anymore. He had many TKOs from calf kicks alone. The guy is just a dense fucking ball of muscle, built for fighting. 37 years old now. He's crumpled people with his left hook. He's crumpled people with his right hand. Paddy Pimblett is going to have to be very careful flurrying, throwing his flurries on Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje will sit down and rip a left hook, or sit down, drop his head, and launch a right hand. That's Justin Gaethje's ways to win. He could KO Paddy Pimblett. He very well could. The longer the fight goes, if the fight gets more hectic and gets more scrambly, it's going to lean towards Paddy Pimblett.
When forced to commit to a prediction, he made it clear how conflicted he was. He leaned toward Pimblett with a narrow edge while still stressing the constant risk of Gaethje catching him during an aggressive exchange. His reasoning rested on style matchups. If Justin failed to land something decisive early, the fight would likely slip away from him. From there, he believed Pimblett's grappling and control would take over and steer the outcome in his direction.
If someone gave me $10,000 to bet with, and they said, hey, put it on who you think's gonna win, God. I'm gonna say 60-40. 60-40. 40% chance that Justin Gaethje knocks Paddy Pimblett out. Hits him on his chin. When Paddy Pimblett's flurrying, hits him right on his fucking, hits him right on the scouser chin. Bunk. Gets dropped. 40% chance, I think. 60% chance this fight, Justin's not able to find him. It's a little bit, it's like a spastic, weird style. He's not able to find his chin. If Paddy Pimblett puts him on his back, it's going to be a long night for Justin Gaethje. Hopefully he's against the cage. Hopefully he's working on defending the back. If I had to pick, $10,000, 60% me thinks Paddy Pimblett's going to win. 40% thinks Justin Gaethje's going to win. Paddy Pimblett gets it done. God! Let's see what happens.
Moreover, it was framed by Michael Chandler as being closer than most people anticipated. He emphasized that Paddy was far superior to what the public and media gave him credit for, rejecting the notion that Pimblett was overrated. In the end, Chandler saw it as a true toss-up, with the biggest risk being Justin thinking the fight would be easier than it actually was, even though he acknowledged Gaethje's constant danger and willingness to use violence.
January 24th, UFC 324. First pay-per-view back, and 2 guys that you fought, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje. What do you think is going to be the biggest X factor for the winner of that fight?
Great question. I will be in attendance. 2 guys that I respect a ton. I've loved watching Paddy rise and even fighting him, obviously having a ton of respect for him. Gaethje, fight of the year 2021 or 2022. We shared the octagon together. Paddy is better than everybody thinks. Paddy is better than you think, the entire media thinks, the entire world thinks. He's better than the entire MMA landscape thinks. With that being said, Justin Gaethje is always game. Justin Gaethje always shows up, and Justin Gaethje is always violent and dangerous. It's a pick'em fight for me. I do think Gaethje is going to look across the octagon, see a guy that he should beat, but he's not as easy to beat as he thinks he is, so it's going to be a very interesting fight.
On the other hand, Israel Adesanya had emphasized that Gaethje didn't need to reinvent himself, he just needed to be authentic. He believed Justin remained a violent force and that outside noise could either distract or motivate him. Adesanya thought Gaethje should assert control early with fundamentals, using range and pace, while expecting Pimblett to start more cautiously. He also warned that one clean shot from Paddy could quickly shift momentum, which explained why Pimblett was favored despite Gaethje's pressure and toughness.
Yeah, you just have to go in there and do your work, and Gaethje is that guy, 37, but he's still that guy. He's still the violent highlight. So yeah, but again, that kind of stuff is fuel if you choose to use it as fuel. So it seems like he is.
What should Gaethje's approach to this fight be?
Fucking be Gaethje. Just be Gaethje. Be you. Do you. You know who you are. So don't let him tell you who you are. Show them who you are. Leg kicks is good, but don't start off with leg kicks. Start off with his. Gaethje has a nice jab. He likes to stay in the mid range, so he'll be able to jab Paddy. But Paddy as well has. If he uses his jab well, he'll be fine. I think Paddy will be on the back foot first, and if he cracks Gaethje, then he'll be the one dictating the pace. But Gaethje will be the first one dictating the pace, in my opinion, in the first few exchanges on the first round. Gaethje has to also be careful because Paddy hits hard. Gaethje can eat him. Look, There's a reason Paddy's the favorite in this fight. Again, I'm just going to follow the script today.
He had noted that Pimblett had thrived under pressure, saying that chaotic deep-water moments were where Paddy came alive. While he admitted that Gaethje had the power to end it early, he ultimately stuck to his original prediction, giving the edge to Pimblett. He expected the fight to go the distance, but saw a submission finish as the most likely outcome, highlighting how Paddy had capitalized once he gained control on the ground.
I'm watching the embeddeds again. Paddy said people haven't seen him in deep waters, and he says that's where he comes alive. So I want to see it. I want to see it. Show him who you are. He's right. This is interim title shot, just like mine. People thought I was going to drown, and then I showed them that's where I come alive. So I believe it. I want to see it. But again, there's only one man who can make that, an early night for Paddy, and that's Gaethje. But I'm going to stick with the script. As much as I kind of think I want to lean towards Gaethje because we're in the same position, I'm just going to stick with the script in this fight, in this card, and I'm going to go with Paddy Pimblett by decision. Yeah.
I think submission.
Submission? Oh, submission. Yeah, that's a good one. Fuck, I forget. He likes to jump on people's backs and shit.
But do you think Paddy...
You know what? No.
Furthermore, Michael Bisping had pointed out that Pimblett, while younger and with fewer miles on his body, was far from inexperienced. At 31, Paddy was in his athletic prime, combining strength with growing experience. Bisping recapped his UFC journey, highlighting early finishes over Luigi Ventrani and Rodrigo Vargas, grappling wins over Jordan Levy, the controversial fight with Jared Gordon, and a decision over Tony Ferguson, showing that despite some criticism, Pimblett had proven himself against capable competition.
Paddy Pimblett's much younger, he's got less miles on the clock, but he's not a child. He's 31 years old, so he's in his prime, his athletic prime. He's got the strength, and now he's got the experience. Now, a lot of people have talked shit about Paddy Pimblett along the way, saying he's getting easy matchups. And to be fair, some of them weren't the toughest, right? He made his UFC debut against Luigi Ventrani, but he knocked him out. Then it was Rodrigo Vargas, stopped him with a rear naked choke. Jordan Levy, a very good jiu-jitsu player, tapped him out as well. Then we all know the controversial one with Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon's not an easy guy to fight, right? He's a very capable fighter, could have gone either way, whatever you want to say. And then it was Tony Ferguson, right? And he beat him by decision. And everyone's like, yeah, Tony Ferguson, man. There's no, you get no credit for beating Tony Ferguson. Well, you should.
He said Pimblett was not only dynamic, but also very precise, able to capitalize on openings when Gaethje overcommitted. He envisioned Paddy using underhooks, sweeps, or submissions like triangles to turn those moments into control. He predicted Pimblett would win by submission and claim the interim title. While admitting he might be biased or underestimating Gaethje, he reasoned that Justin had slowed down, had been knocked out by Max Holloway, and was 38 years old, all factors that made him confident Pimblett would emerge as the champion. Additionally, Chael Sonnen had also leaned toward Pimblett taking the win, but he focused more on how the fight might unfold on the ground. He highlighted a key advantage American wrestlers bring to MMA, the instinct and training to constantly work back to their feet when an opponent is on top. Sonnen explained that this skill, turning and facing a guy trying to control you, often separates top-tier wrestlers from the rest, giving fighters like Pimblett a dynamic tool to stay dangerous even under pressure. Sonnen had added that this ability to work back to your feet was why American wrestlers historically outperformed their foreign counterparts in MMA. But he noted that even someone like Chandler had struggled against Pimblett, whether due to Paddy's tight control, effective leg rides, fatigue, or simply not having sharpened the skill recently. He suggested that the same challenges could face Gaethje. It was hard for him to imagine that if Pimblett got Justin to the ground, he would be kept there for long. MMA Guru had predicted Pimblett would take the win, leaning toward a submission, picturing an armbar or triangle as the likely finish. He acknowledged that Gaethje still carried early knockout power, but cautioned against underestimating Paddy's toughness and presence in the cage. He expected Pimblett to use range and strikes effectively, while withstanding a few shots from Gaethje, making him a dangerous opponent. He also felt that Paddy's composure and ability to adapt mid-fight could ultimately tip the scales in his favor. He noted that while Gaethje's knockout power was real, the threat might be overstated. Looking back at Justin's career, his KOs had often come under specific circumstances, against James Vick, a wobbled Michael Johnson, or a first-round finish on Donald Cerrone, but those moments were rare and situational. He argued that a highlight reel head kick or sudden KO wasn't likely against Pimblett. While Gaethje had power, it hadn't consistently produced fight-ending knockouts. And then Dan Hardy had observed that while Gaethje was always thrilling to watch for his relentless style, this matchup felt like a turning point, a new chapter for Pimblett. He predicted that Paddy would win by submission, believing that a combination of Gaethje's fatigue and occasional overcommitment would create openings. Hardy envisioned Pimblett landing a decisive strike, similar to the knee he had used on Chandler, which would set up chokes like a Darce or Anaconda, likely ending the fight in the late 3rd or early 4th round. Building on that, Jimmy Smith had argued that Gaethje's takedown defense and striking made him a tough challenge for Pimblett, suggesting Paddy wouldn't be able to control him on the ground like Michael Chandler had, though he noted Chandler wasn't on Gaethje's level. He acknowledged that time and accumulated damage might play a role. Still, Smith felt that Gaethje's motivation, knowing this could be the final chapter of his career, gave him a meaningful edge going into the fight. He had said that while Pimblett's striking and finishing ability had been impressive, he believed Gaethje's resilience and experience would catch up with Paddy in the fight. He admitted he had gone back and forth in his mind about who to pick, but when he looked at the odds, Justin at +190 and Pimblett at -230, he saw value in Gaethje. In his view, it had been a close coin flip style matchup, but the payout had made Justin the smarter bet, so he had leaned toward Gaethje at the 2-to-1 line. So what's your take on who actually called this fight right and came the closest to how it actually panned out? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a breakdown.